Hey, my name is Michael Griswold, and this video is called 3 Ways to Know Instantly if Someone is Lying to You, so that you never have to feel betrayed, cheated, or like someone is getting one over on you ever again. Tell me this, has this ever happened to you? You're talking to somebody who's important to you, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, spouse, whoever, and they're telling you something that just doesn't sound quite right. You ask some questions, they get kind of defensive and tell you over and over that they are telling the truth. You go away with this unsettled feeling. You're unresolved, but you're not really sure what to do or how to handle it. I mean, you want to believe them, but, well, here's the bad news. People lie. All the time. People lie to our face, people lie behind our backs, and this is just a fact of life. In fact, you and I, we both lie. And it's just the way that we've learned to get on in society. The thing is we need a way to distinguish between when people are telling the truth and when they're not telling the truth. So why is it that people lie? Well, I happen to think that most times people lie because they don't want to hurt our feelings, or they're embarrassed by the truth, or they don't have the courage to tell the truth. The point is that rarely do people lie just to be malicious. Rarely do people lie because they're bad people or because they deserve to rot in a hot, hot hell or anything like that. Though that's the way we might feel when someone lies to us, it's important to be able to see below the surface. And you're going to find out why in just a minute. But being able to see below the surface reason to what's really going on helps us to have a lot more control and to use that motivation in these situations to not only get the truth, but to get what we want out of the conversation. So, tell me this. What if you could tell instantly when someone is lying to you? For example, was he really at that party? Or was he out with someone else? Is he really just a friend? Or is she hiding something else about her feelings from you? Maybe in a job environment, are you really in line to get that promotion? Or is your boss kind of jerking your chain? What if you could exude the confidence to command their respect, and you knew how to handle the lies people tell and how to make it so they feel comfortable enough around you not to have to tell a lie? Would that make you feel in control? You see, when you're able to see through what people are telling you to what they're really saying, it gives you a great amount of control and confidence. Imagine that. Imagine that you and I are sat down having a conversation, and I'm being a little nervous, but I'm trying to cover it up. But you can tell, because of what you learned in this video, you can tell that I'm not really being as economical with the truth as I should be. Well, you knowing what's going on and being able to then sympathize with why I would be acting that way puts you in the position of power in our conversation, so that instead of reacting and getting offended by the way that I'll be talking to you, you really get to direct the conversation. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. So in this video, look, we have to have a way of finding the truth. There's no way to make sense of our lives and our world if everything that we hear is a lie. We can't ask someone, are you lying to me? Because nobody in their right mind is going to say, you know what, yes, I'm lying right to your face. Body language is a language all to itself, and I'm going to give you some statistics here in a minute about how important, and it's going to surprise you, how important body language is. Being fluent in this type of language gives you an unmatched confidence, an ability to get others to do what you want, even the apparent ability to read their mind. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. And then we're going to go over 3 foolproof ways to notice when someone may be trying to mislead you. So, what do I know? How do I know all this? Well, after noticing the power of communication and being fascinated by it, by the intricacies, I decided to study everything I could on it. I found it fascinating how so often what people really think is rarely what they say. You've seen this, no doubt, in all sorts of circumstances. Does this dress make me look fat? Do you think that that girl's pretty? There's a thousand examples And so often, people are hiding what they really think under a very thin veneer of a lie. And I found that when you can discover that and then pull that veneer, that scab off, and get to the real heart of what's going on, not only do your relationships improve, but you feel so much more in control. You don't feel like you have to uh, be worried about whether somebody's going to betray you. I realized that there has to be a way of listening to find out to what someone was saying uh, if they were injected with truth serum and forced to be honest. There had to be a way to figure out what people were really saying in spite of what their words were saying. So here's a few scientific results of a study in human communication. 7% of our communication is the words that we speak, the words that you're hearing right now. 38% is the how we say what we say. So the tempo, the inflection, the pitch, those types of things. Notice the difference between talking like this and communicating. 38% is the how we say what we say, and 38% is the how we say what we say. One of them sounds a great deal more controlled, but a great deal more confident, and a great deal more believable. The other sounds nervous and weak. And look at this. A striking 55% of our communication is body language. You've no doubt had this experience where the words that someone's saying and the way that their body, it's as if they're two dance partners dancing to a different song. What do we do in this situation? Well, how has this study helped? Using these techniques, I've helped other people to discover when a girlfriend, or soon-to-be ex-girlfriend, was not really out with a new friend. I've helped people find out when business partners were planning to cut them out of a deal by the way they were acting during their meeting, not by what they were saying. How one woman's fiancé really felt about her, despite his many, many claims of love and devotion. And there's many, many more examples. And here's what I've found. In every relational failure that wasn't catastrophically flawed from the beginning, communication is the cause of that failure. It's not sex, it's not infidelity, it's not money. It's always the way that we communicate about those things. Even in business relations, it's not the greed, it's not who gets a lion's share of the deal. It's the way that we communicate it. And so often, instead of talking about the real issues, one person says something that offends the other person, and because you don't feel the power to be able to divert the conversation how you want to, you just react. Now, if you could instead see through it and direct the conversation where you wanted to go, instead of this superficial bantering, you could get to the heart of the issue. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Look, body language is a foreign language to most people. Imagine this. You're at a coffee shop and you're talking to someone from Italy. You're talking and they're talking, but their English is not very good. But what if you were also fluent in Italian? Would that make them feel more comfortable? Would they probably feel closer to you? And would you be able to get more info from them than the person sitting next to you who could only speak English? Body language is the same way. Being able to pick up on what someone's saying is one type of language. But being able to listen to the how they say what they say and to what their body is saying when they're talking gives you an unmatched supremacy in communication. So we talked about the good news. Here's the good news. Look, most people don't like to lie. And if you give them a graceful way of getting out of it, you get to find out the truth and win them over. As we talked about before, so often people lie because they're embarrassed. And we can relate to that. We've all been in situations where to tell the truth would be a bit embarrassing. But if someone were able to see through that and then able to give us a gracious out, well then we get to save face and keep our dignity without having to lie. So I'll be teaching you what you're going to do once you've spotted a lie in a subsequent video, and actually how to win the lying party over to your side. For now, it's key to learn how to spot a lie so that you can begin noticing. So, how to tell a lie. There are three ways, key ways to tell that we're going to talk about when someone is being